Before we dive in, if you're serious about becoming the strongest version of yourself, mentally, physically, and emotionally, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment of growth. This channel is for the relentless, for those who wake up hungry, who train in silence, who push when no one's watching. So if you're ready to leave behind mediocrity and step into the mindset of a warrior, you're in the right place. Now let's talk about something most people will never understand. The real transformation happens when no one's watching. In the silence, in the sacrifice, in the moments where most give up and you choose to fight. They tell you time is your enemy, that with every passing year, you're losing your edge. But those who truly understand growth know the truth. Time is not a thief, it's a sculptor. It doesn't steal your strength, it carves out your greatness. Every year you carry isn't a weight, it's a chapter written in resilience. The fire that once sparked in your youth can become an unshakable blaze if you feed it with purpose. What matters isn't how long you've walked the road, but how fiercely you've kept moving, even when the path turned uphill. Too often we equate youth with power and age with decline. But greatness was never defined by the freshness of your muscles. It's always been about the sharpness of your mind and the resolve in your soul. Muhammad Ali once said, "It isn't the mountains ahead to climb that wear you out, it's the pebble in your shoe." Time doesn't defeat you. Your belief that it can, that's what does. The real battle isn't against the ticking clock, it's against the excuses you start accepting as truth. Think of every scar not as a sign of damage, but as proof of survival. You've endured storms others couldn't stand in. You've stood when others crumbled. You've adapted, endured, and evolved. And that's not weakness, that's mastery. If anything, age is your advantage. You don't just know how to fight, you know what's worth fighting for. That clarity is a weapon more powerful than raw speed or strength. It's what transforms effort into excellence. So no, the years behind you aren't a sign that your best is over. They're the foundation for what's still to come. Stop thinking you're running out of time. Start realizing you've spent years building a depth of experience that can't be faked, rushed, or manufactured. That's your power, and it's time to own it. Time moves with a ruthless rhythm. It doesn't pause for your pain, nor slow down for your doubts. But within that unstoppable current, there's one thing that remains fully in your control: your response. Your actions are the chisels that shape your future. The moments when everything inside you screams to stop, those are the crucibles in which character is forged. Seneca once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." You may not be able to slow time, but you can decide what kind of person time reveals you to be. True strength isn't visible on the surface. It's not the loudest voice in the room or the fastest sprint on the track. It's the quiet decision to keep going when everything tells you to quit. It's standing back up after your knees buckle. There's a kind of honor in refusing to surrender, especially when no one is watching. And believe me, I've stood in that quiet darkness. I've felt the walls closing in, heard the voice of doubt whispering that it's over. But instead of listening, I chose to rise. Again and again. You'll face moments when you're drained, physically, emotionally, spiritually. That's not weakness, that's the edge. That's where growth begins. When your mind tries to bargain for comfort, remind it that comfort is a currency too costly for those chasing greatness. Champions aren't born in moments of ease. They're sculpted in moments of fatigue, when every breath feels like a burden, and every step feels like war, and they keep moving anyway. The mind will resist, the body will rebel. But your will, that's the king, and kings don't yield. Every sunrise gifts you a blank slate, not a repeat of yesterday, but a new chance to become someone stronger. The pen is in your hand, and the ink is your choice. Will you write a story of retreat, or one of relentless courage? Don't chase youth, chase resolve. The years behind you have already prepared you for this very moment. Strength doesn't live in the past. It's born in the decisions you make today, especially when they hurt. Let your legacy be written not by time, but by how ferociously you rise, again and again. There is no secret recipe, no hidden formula, and certainly no easy route to true greatness. The path to mastery is built through relentless effort, unshakable resilience, and a willingness to confront your limits head-on, day after day. Life will not hand you success. It demands that you earn it through pain, sacrifice, and an unwavering commitment to grow, even when every bone in your body begs you to stop. Champions aren't born with an edge. They build one through sheer determination. As Kobe Bryant once said, "Great things come from hard work and perseverance, no excuses." That's the truth no one wants to hear, but everyone needs to accept. You have to understand, every single day is a test of your will, your discipline, and your ability to rise even when you feel broken. You won't be remembered for the times life went easy on you. You'll be remembered for how you showed up when everything was against you. In that moment, it's not about how gifted you are. It's about whether you're willing to show up anyway, to step into the arena with your scars, your flaws, and your fire. Because at the end of the day, greatness isn't found in comfort. It's forged in discomfort. If you're waiting for the perfect moment, it won't come. If you're hoping for a time when it won't hurt, you'll wait forever. The real ones, the legends, the game changers, they show up despite the pain. They use it, they harness it as fuel, because they know that discomfort is not the enemy. It's the signal that you're on the edge of growth. Pain isn't here to break you, it's here to shape you. As David Goggins puts it, suffering is a test. That's all it is. Suffering is the true test of life. And every day you get to decide whether you'll pass or fail. You don't get to the top by coasting. You get there by enduring more than most are willing to handle. It's not about what you feel like doing. It's about what needs to be done. You are either writing a story of perseverance or one of surrender, and you write it one choice at a time, in the silence, in the grind, in the pain that no one sees but you feel deeply. That's the battleground. That's where transformation begins. The moment you decide to take that first step, really take it, something shifts inside you. It's no longer about simply enduring life. It's about confronting the war within and reclaiming your power. Every time you press forward despite fear, despite exhaustion, despite the chaos around you, you're defeating the version of yourself that would have stayed small. That's not just progress, that's transformation. Muhammad Ali once said, "I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." That's the mindset you need, because champions are not made when it's easy. They're made in the trenches, when no one's watching and everything inside says stop. Understand this, every effort you make, every sacrifice you choose, is laying the foundation of the life you're building. You're not just getting stronger, you're constructing something unshakable, one decision at a time, one rep, one early morning, one late night. None of it is wasted. This journey doesn't reward those who dabble, it crowns those who bleed for it. Every drop of sweat is a declaration. I will not be average. That's what separates those who talk from those who live with purpose. The grind is not punishment, it's a gift. It's where the weak are exposed and the strong are born. Don't fall into the trap of comfort. Don't chase what's familiar just because it feels safe. Growth is forged in discomfort, in the moments that shake you, that stretch you, that scare you. If your goals don't intimidate you, you're not aiming high enough. And if your actions don't make you uncomfortable, you're not growing. It's in the fear, in the resistance, where your greatest breakthroughs lie. Stephen Pressfield called it resistance, that invisible force that tries to stop you from becoming who you're meant to be. But the ones who win, they push through anyway. They welcome the friction because they know it means they're getting closer. Every setback, every failure, it's not the end, it's a lesson, a chance to rebuild stronger, sharper, more aligned with your vision. The scars you carry aren't signs of weakness, they're proof of your fight. They're the evidence that you were in the arena, that you chose to battle instead of back down. The path of self-mastery isn't paved with comfort, it's built through adversity. And the further you go, the more you realize that growth isn't found in avoiding pain. It's found in surviving it and rising from it, better than before. There will come days where you feel like you've emptied yourself, days where fatigue clouds your vision and doubt whispers lies. But those moments, those are the proving grounds. That's where you find out who you really are. That voice telling you to quit. Silence it. That ache in your bones. Respect it, but don't obey it. Because within you is more fuel, more strength, more resilience than you've ever tapped into. You are not at your limit. You're just near the edge of your current identity. And that's exactly where change begins. What matters isn't that you're flawless. What matters is that you refuse to fold. This world doesn't pay you for perfection. It rewards those who persist. So even if you're crawling, keep going. Even if you're bleeding, keep showing up. Each inch forward is still forward. Each choice to act, no matter how small, is another blow to the person you used to be. And that's how transformation works. Not all at once, but brick by brick, battle by battle, until one day you look back and realize you became unstoppable. Take a look at the ones you admire. The legends, the high achievers, the icons who turned impossibility into legacy. What do you think set them apart? It wasn't luck. It wasn't an easier path or more favorable conditions. It was their refusal to fold under pressure. They battled the same storms, the doubt, the fear, the exhaustion, and still chose to rise. They didn't just dream about greatness. They built it, brick by brick, day by day, through grit and ruthless self-discipline. Serena Williams once said, "Luck has nothing to do with it, because I have spent many, many hours, countless hours, on the court working for my one moment in time." That's the truth. Behind every spotlight is a silent war that was won long before anyone ever noticed. Discipline isn't some switch you flip when you feel motivated. It's a muscle, one that must be trained relentlessly, especially when it's inconvenient. It's forged in the repetition of hard choices, the 5 a.m. alarms, the extra rep when no one's watching, the silence when temptation screams, the actions you take when no one's clapping. Those are the ones that define who you're becoming. Your routine, your habits, they're not just part of your life. They are your life. They are the architects of your reality. And if you neglect them, you abandon your future. The key isn't feeling ready. The key is showing up regardless of how you feel. Because discipline doesn't care about your emotions. It doesn't care if you're tired or uninspired, or if it's raining outside. It only rewards action. Ruthless, relentless, consistent action. The kind that makes you uncomfortable. The kind that demands more than what you think you have left. Push through anyway. When your mind begs for rest, give it excellence instead. When you feel like stopping, let that be your trigger to go harder. Because every time you move forward despite resistance, you're sharpening the blade of your potential. Comfort is seductive. It whispers promises of safety and rest, of ease and familiarity. But comfort never built an empire. It never forged a warrior. It never created anything legendary. Growth lives beyond the threshold of what's familiar. When you hit that wall of fatigue, when the unknown feels terrifying, lean in. That struggle, that discomfort, it's not punishment. It's the tool that carves strength into your character. You don't need a guarantee. You don't need certainty. You need a decision to bet on yourself, to stay the course, and to trust that every ounce of pain is serving your evolution. There is no backup plan, no soft landing. It's just you, your choices, your discipline, and your resolve. That's the hard truth. No one is coming to rescue you. And that's exactly what gives you power. Because the moment you accept full ownership is the moment you become unstoppable. When the voice in your head tells you to give up, override it. Replace it with fire. Remind yourself, every time you persist, you're not just surviving. You're transforming. You're no longer potential. You're becoming power. Here's what most people will never tell you. The moments that change you, that redefine you, don't come with applause. They don't happen under the spotlight. They happen in silence. They happen when no one's watching, when no one cares, when it's just you and the weight of your own discipline. It's in those early hours when the world is still asleep that you choose who you're becoming. While others hit snooze, you rise. While others seek rest, you seek progress. That's where the transformation begins. Not when it's easy, but when no one would blame you for quitting, and you still choose to rise. The weak self, the part of you that doubts, that delays, that seeks comfort. It doesn't die in one blow. It's defeated over time, slowly, through the grind, through the thousands of moments when you could have taken the easy road and didn't. It's starved every time you say, "I'll do it anyway." That's when the relentless version of you takes over. The one who doesn't beg for motivation, but builds it. The one who doesn't wait for inspiration to arrive, but creates momentum through movement. Kobe Bryant once said, "Rest at the end, not in the middle." That's the warrior's creed. You keep going, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Don't expect lightning bolts of inspiration to carry you. That's not how greatness works. Real power comes from those who learn to move without external praise, who do the work when it's dark, when it's thankless, when it's boring, who grind when the results are still invisible. That's the kind of internal fire that separates the good from the elite. And the truth is, every bit of exhaustion, every second of loneliness, it's a signal, a message that you're doing something most people aren't willing to. Let it fuel you. Let it remind you that while others are dreaming, you're building. The fire inside you, it won't be lit by comfort. It's forged in hardship, in solitude, in repetition. So when it's 4 a.m. and the bed feels like a trap, when you're drained and the work still stares you in the face, that's your moment. That's your edge. You don't need the world to cheer you on. You need one thing: commitment. Commitment to the version of yourself that refuses to go quietly, that wakes up again, that trains again, that writes again, that shows up again. That's the fire that can't be extinguished because it burns from within.